Okay, today we are going to begin Hilchos Purim. We're going to start from the first simid, which deals with Hilchos Purim, simin Tov Reish Pei Vav, Din Tainis Esther, Ubo Gimel Sifim. This first simon is going to be learning about the halachas. We're going to be discussing the fast of Esther, Tainis Esther. So the Shulchan Aruch begins by saying, B'chanako b'Purim muter lehizanois lefneim ulahachreim. On Chanukah and Purim, it's permissible to fast both beforehand and afterwards, which means you're not allowed to fast on Chanukah and Purim itself. However, before and after, you are allowed to. As the Oz V'Hodar Mishnah Brura relates, the Yom Shalifneim will be Yom Shalachreim. That's what the Shulchan Aruch means. You're allowed to fast before and after. This is a major discussion in and of itself that comes from the Gemara in Tainus Yud Ches. See the recordings that we put up on the entire Tainus there for more details, and in particular on page 18. Taf Yud Ches. Short Mishnah Brura. You're allowed to fast before and after. V'chein behefsid shari. Similarly, when it comes to giving a eulogy, you're allowed to uh, do a eulogy before and after. So you're going to say, when does this happen? You should know this happened to my grandfather around the Hanukkah time. So therefore, you got to know these halachas because they could very well happen, especially if you add the 8 days of Hanukkah, 1 day of Purim, 9 days after 360 out of 365. It's not as uncommon as one might say. So a eulogy would be permissible before and after Hanukkah and Purim, but not on Hanukkah and Purim. That would not be allowed. As the Oz V'Hadar Mishnah Brura relates, on Hanukkah and Purim, the eulogy would be in fact prohibited, unless it's a chacham b'fanav. Unless you're eulogizing a wise person and it's in front of him, as is explained in the Shulchan Aruch in the beginning of Hilchos Chanukah, Simin Tov Reish Ayin Siv Gimel, as we discussed over there. See the recordings there for more details on that topic. The Mishnah Brura continues and says, Ubach Kosov de Bachanukah Oser lehisanos lefonov. The Bach writes that on Chanukah it is prohibited to fast before Chanukah. According to the Bach, you're not allowed to fast. V'cheinu gam das ha-pri chodesh. This is also the opinion of the Pri Chodesh. So according to the Bach and the Pri Chodesh, you are not allowed to fast. It should be pointed out that even according to the Bach, ha said gam ledidei shari, as the Sha'ar Tzion quotes from the Pri Megadim, a eulogy would certainly be permissible before Chanukah, even according to the Bach. However, fasting would not. Now, after Chanukah, it would be permissible, according to see the Bach inside for more details and the reasoning behind this halacha. The Mishnah Brura continues and says, "V'hina yesh nahagin lehisanos lefnei Chanukah temudos erev Rosh Chodesh ve'ein l'shanos minhagam." Some have a custom that they fast before Chanukah instead of on the eve of Rosh Chodesh, the new month. Some people they fast before Chanukah instead of Erev Rosh Chodesh. There's a custom for something to fast before Rosh Chodesh. It's an auspicious, special time. So some instead fast before Chanukah instead of before Rosh Chodesh. Yom
When we
Kippur
speak
comes.
when we speak about when we speak about people fasting Erev Hanukkah,
Yeah, that's what we're discussing right
No,
now.
but when? Erev Hanukkah, literally?
That's what we just said.
Okay, and then as opposed to Rosh Chodesh, which Rosh Chodesh?
As opposed to Erev Rosh Chodesh, any Rosh Chodesh.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Any Rosh Chodesh.
So some people, they have the custom to fast before Chanukah instead of before Rosh Chodesh. Ve'ein l'shanois ben hagam. Says the Mishnah Berurah, do not change their custom. This is a valid custom. Aval lechatchila lo yinhoikein. But preferably one should not accustom him or herself this way. One should not do this. And don't fast before Chanukah. Val kolponim aser ligzor bo taina sibor. And nevertheless, it's prohibited to decree a public fast. You cannot decree a public fast Erev Chanukah. That is certainly not allowed. It's talking more on a individual basis. The Mishnah Berurah continues and says, "V'chein yoim rishon da'acher Chanukah." Similarly, the first day after Chanukah, after Yochid Mutter Lesanos Bo, even though an individual is permitted to fast then, Taina Sibor Osir Ligzor Bo. Public fast is prohibited to decree. So the idea over here is it's talking about Sunday after Hanukkah, right? Or excuse me, not Sunday. Probably the first day after Hanukkah. Even though an individual could fast, you can't make a communal fast for the entire congregation to fast. So this basically is some are the halachas of the technicalities of fasting before and after Hanukkah and Purim, and the relevant halachas to that. It doesn't necessarily in this sif discuss anything about the actual fast of Esther and the meaning behind it, the reasons for it. That's going to be the next sif, but this is dealing with the technicalities of fasting before and after. Basically, Chuvas discusses some of the halachas over here. It's interesting. He brings up an interesting point over here. Siddur Kadin. Siddur Kadin is a special prayer that's said at the cemetery. So, regarding Siddur Kadin, we find that there are different opinions, if you could say it, before Purim. On the eve of Purim, after Chatzos, after halachic midday, there's different opinions if it could be said. Quoting the footnote, the Shach, quoting the Lavush, the Shach actually in your day in Simon Tuf, Aleph of Cotton Gimel quotes the Lavush who says that you would say it. The Prima Godim says that you would not say it, and it seems like that was the custom in his city. The Mishnah Berurah in the beginning of Hilchos Pesach, Simin Tavchav Tes of Cotton Ches says that you would say it after midday. However, the Mishnah Berurah in the beginning of Hilchos Chanukah and Simin Taf Reishayins of Cotton Yud Beis says that if you want, you could be stringent uh, and not say a eulogy or Siddur Din the entire day. Seems to be a whole discussion with the Mishnah Berurah how he actually goes like. According to the poskim who say that you can't say it, it would also be prohibited to eulogize on the eve of Purim after halachic midday, unless it's for a chacham, a Torah scholar. So this basically is Sif Aleph regarding the technicalities of the fast before and after. Any questions or comments on anything that we just did here?
I don't think so, no.
They're pretty straightforward. I mean, just take a look right now at the Dare Show, see if they really add anything. The Dare Show over here, oh, okay. they discuss exactly why is it permissible to fast from the letter of the law, Meker Hadin, both before and after Chanukah and Purim. So in Siman Tov Kuf Ayin Gimel, it's related that these days are not as severe as days that are written in Megillus Tainus. More lenient over here. 'Cause before it's fine. They go into this. Um, quote this idea Siddiq Adin has the status of a eulogy, which would be permissible. They don't really add any chidushim over here. The Mishnah Brura said, I just want to pull this up again. Mishnah Brura said right over here, said those who have the custom to fast before Chanukah instead of Rosh Chodesh, instead of before Rosh Chodesh, don't change your custom. Preferably, you shouldn't do such a thing. That's what the Mishnah Brura said. So they comment on that line and said, why shouldn't you change your custom? The Berheit of Ilchos Chanukah and Siman Tafresh Ayin, the first Siman of Cotton Bay says, there's a concern that it's like a neder, it's like you made a vow. Also, the Machasis Shekel explains that over here in the Siman. Kavachayim Mitzvah Cotton Hay says it's correct to do a hatara, to annul the vow, so to say, and to fast on the 23rd of Kislev in order to remove yourself from this massive machloikas, from this argument. So that's what they say over there. All right, so those are basically the halachas of fasting before and after. I think it's relatively straightforward, easy halachas. So, any questions, comments on this? All right. So tomorrow,
No, that makes sense.
all right. So we'll do a little parsha now. It's already
Ooh.
Thursday. We're very late this week. Tomorrow, Mirta Hashem, we will resume with Sif Bays, which is the longer Sif of this short simon. We'll see if we can tackle it in a full session. And we have to start tomorrow 9:15 because I'd like sharp, not 9:20, not 9:25, because I want to get this entire long Sif in one session. I don't want to split it up. I want to do it in one sitting and prepare it properly so it goes smooth. And that's going to be the game plan tomorrow. Okay, so now we're going to do Parsha.